When you picture London's wealthiest, you probably think of the names splashed across the Sunday Times rich list. You know, inherited land, ancient titles, city bankers, the usual suspects. But beyond those headlines, a powerful group of black families is quietly building massive fortunes right here in the city. These aren't just celebrities or athletes with big paychecks. These are dynasties built on sharp business moves, relentless ambition, and a truly global perspective. They're masters of private equity, titans of telecom, and pioneers in tech and real estate. They operate in plain sight, yet you've probably never heard their full stories. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the top 10 richest black dynasties with ties to London. We'll explore their low-key strategies for building incredible wealth and creating legacies that will last for generations. You won't find most of these names in the tabloids, but their influence is undeniable. We're going to get into their origins, their big breaks, and the complex financial empires they've built, often connecting London's markets with the booming economies of Africa and beyond. Get ready to be inspired, because these are the stories of the new establishment. Number 10. The Cole family, the power couple of empowerment. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a dynamic power couple who are the new face of black British wealth, Bianca Miller Cole and Byron Cole. While they aren't billionaires, their combined and fast-growing empire in branding, publishing, and mentoring earns them a solid spot as a dynasty in the making. Bianca Miller Cole first grabbed the nation's attention as a sharp finalist on BBC's The Apprentice back in 2014. But she was already a savvy entrepreneur. In 2012, she founded The B Group, a personal branding consultancy that pulled in huge clients like HSBC, Facebook, and American Express. Her goal was simple but powerful: make personal branding accessible to everyone. After The Apprentice, she launched Bianca Miller London, a hosiery brand for a diverse range of skin tones, a move that was both smart business and culturally important. Her husband, Dr. Byron Cole, is a business force in his own right. As a serial entrepreneur, investor, and mentor, he's been involved in over a dozen startups. He's a respected business coach, guiding the next generation of entrepreneurs through the tough early days. But together, their synergy is their superpower. They're a true partnership, co-authoring 3 books, including the bestseller Self-Made, the definitive guide to business startup success. Their books aren't just about sales, they're a strategic part of their brand, setting them up as authorities and funneling clients to their other businesses. They run a podcast and the Self-Made Mentoring Program, where they've personally mentored nearly 500 entrepreneurs, helping them scale up to 6- and 7-figure businesses. Their strategy is a masterclass in modern wealth creation. They've built an entire ecosystem around empowerment. They use their personal brands to boost their business brands. Their media appearances drive clients to their consulting and mentoring programs. It's not just about their own success, it's about building a community and a legacy. The Cole family dynasty isn't built on a single product, but on the powerful currency of knowledge, branding, and empowerment, a model that's both profitable and deeply impactful. Number 9. The Bartlett family, the new media mogul. Coming in at number 9 is a name that's become a symbol of new-age digital entrepreneurship, Stephen Bartlett. While his fame is pretty recent, the moves he's making suggest a massive family fortune is on the horizon, built on media, marketing, and smart tech investments. With a net worth estimated to be anywhere from £29 million to £71 million, Bartlett is quickly turning digital influence into a solid financial empire. Bartlett's backstory is becoming a legend in business circles. Born in Botswana and raised in Plymouth, he dropped out of university at 19 to chase his dreams. This led him to co-found Social Chain in 2014, a social media marketing agency that started in Manchester. Under his leadership, it grew from a small startup into a global powerhouse working with brands like Apple. The company went public in 2019 with a market valuation soaring over $200 million, making Bartlett a millionaire in his mid-20s. He stepped down as CEO in 2020, having built one of the most disruptive marketing firms out there. But leaving Social Chain wasn't an end. It was a pivot. This is where you see his long-term strategy take shape. He set up Flight Group, a holding company for his other ventures, including a marketing firm, a publishing arm, and a venture capital fund. His most public-facing project is his smash hit podcast, The Diary of a CEO. This isn't just a hobby, it's the engine of his new empire. The podcast generates millions in ad revenue and gives him a platform to build his brand and scout investment opportunities. His role as the youngest ever investor on BBC's Dragon's Den only amplifies this. He's pledged nearly £2 million of his own money into startups on the show. But the real prize is the access and authority it gives him. He's made smart investments in high-growth areas, backing companies like the meal replacement brand Huel and the personalized nutrition company Zoe. He also co-founded ThirdWeb, a software platform for building Web3 apps, which was valued at $160 million just a year after launch. The Bartlett family's wealth strategy is multi-layered. It uses media for influence, diversifies into hot sectors like tech and wellness, and builds a personal brand that's a multi-million-pound asset in itself. Bartlett is creating a modern dynasty where influence is capital and content is the currency that builds a legacy for his family. Number 8. The Forbes family, the tech turnaround titan. At number 8, we find a family whose fortune is being built in the high-stakes world of enterprise software, led by a man named the UK's most influential black person, Dean Forbes. His journey from homelessness to the CEO of a billion-euro company is incredible, and his strategy offers a powerful blueprint for building a tech dynasty. Forbes' story is one of serious resilience. Raised in southeast London, he faced huge challenges, including being homeless twice as a teen. After a brief attempt at a pro football career, he found himself in debt and took an entry-level job at a Motorola call center. That was the unlikely start of a rocket-like rise in the tech world. He quickly climbed the ladder, and at the tech firm Primavera, he was crucial in expanding its international arm, a key reason it was later sold to Oracle for a massive $550 million. This became his signature move: find a software company with potential, supercharge its growth, and lead it to a profitable exit. He did it again as CEO of the Paris-based KDS, which was acquired by American Express. But his biggest win came in 2021 when he became CEO of Forterro, a London-based software company. Just 1 year later, in a huge vote of confidence, Forterro was acquired by the Swiss private equity firm Partners Group for a staggering €1 billion. Unlike most CEOs who leave after a sale, Forbes was kept on to continue leading the company, a clear sign of faith in his vision. The Forbes family's wealth strategy is all about equity. Instead of just a salary, he has consistently taken leadership roles with major ownership stakes, so he profits directly from the growth he creates. Beyond Forterro, he's a partner at the private equity firm Corton Capital, putting him right at the heart of the investment world. He and his wife Danielle also run the Forbes Family Group, a foundation that supports various causes, showing a clear focus on legacy. The Forbes dynasty is being built not on cash, but on ownership, strategic leadership, and the rare talent for turning promising companies into billion-dollar titans. Number 7. The Ahmed family, the remittance revolutionary. At number 7, we have a man who turned personal frustration into a billion-dollar fintech company. Ismail Ahmed, a Somali-British entrepreneur, escaped a civil war and went on to found one of the world's most important money transfer services, World Remit. Ahmed's story started in Somaliland. After earning a scholarship to study in the UK, the Somali Civil War broke out, and he had to be smuggled out of the country in a truck to make it to London. One of the first things he did was send a large chunk of his student money back home to his family. The high fees and hassle of that experience planted the seed for his future empire. He later worked for the UN, where he blew the whistle on corruption in their remittance program. In 2010, armed with his first-hand knowledge of the industry's flaws, he founded World Remit. The idea was to create a digital-first platform that offered much lower fees than traditional services like Western Union. It was a game-changer. The company grew at an explosive rate, attracting hundreds of millions in funding from top investors. World Remit, now part of the parent company Zeps, became a fintech unicorn. In 2021, Zeps was valued at an incredible $5 billion, processing over $15 billion in transactions annually and serving millions of customers across 150 countries.
The Ahmed family's wealth is built on a simple but revolutionary idea, making it cheaper and easier for immigrants to send money home. Ismail Ahmed didn't just build a company, he disrupted an entire industry and created a mission-driven brand focused on financial inclusion. From his base in London, he turned a personal struggle into a global force for good that also generated a massive fortune. Number 6. The Moran family, the fintech pioneers. Breaking into our list at number 6 is a family that perfectly captures the London dream, turning a kitchen table idea into a 9-figure fortune. Led by the Zimbabwean-born entrepreneur Valerie Moran, this family made its name in the cutthroat world of financial technology. In 2019, Valerie Moran made history as the first Black woman to be named in the Sunday Times Richest, with a family fortune estimated at £122 million. Valerie's journey began in Zimbabwe, but facing a lack of opportunity, she moved to London in 2003. It was here that her success story really began. In 2008, right in the middle of the global financial crisis, she and her husband Noel Moran co-founded Prepaid Financial Services, PFS, from their kitchen table. PFS specialized in payment technology like prepaid cards and e-wallets. Valerie was the company's first employee and was the driving force behind its global expansion. The early days were tough. They lost money in the first year and had to use their personal savings to keep it going. But they stuck with it, landed a huge client, and their rapid climb began. The Moran family's wealth strategy was pure, old-school bootstrapping and equity control. They owned an 81.5% of the company, with Valerie personally holding 16.3%. This meant that as the company's value exploded, so did their personal wealth. And explode it did. PFS became a fintech powerhouse, operating in 25 countries. Their crowning moment came in late 2019, when they sold PFS to the Australian company EML Payments. The deal was valued at £226 million, with the potential to earn up to another £55 million. This single transaction turned their hard-earned equity into a massive fortune, cementing their status as one of London's wealthiest tech families. Though they now live in Ireland, their story is pure London, proof of how the city's ecosystem allows immigrant entrepreneurs to build world-class companies from scratch. We're halfway through our list of London's richest Black dynasties, and the stories are only getting more incredible. We've covered branding experts, tech titans, and fintech pioneers. Before we get to the absolute titans of industry, if you're finding this inspiring, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel and makes sure you won't miss our future videos. Also, let us know in the comments, which family's story has impressed you the most so far? We read every single one. Now, let's get back to the list. Number 5, Sir Damon Buffini and family, the private equity knight. At our halfway point, we get to a giant of the City of London and a key player in Europe's private equity scene, Sir Damon Buffini. His story is about breaking barriers and mastering the leveraged buyout, which helped him build a personal fortune estimated to be well over £100 million. Born in Leicester to a Black American serviceman and a white British mother, Buffini's rise to the top of UK finance wasn't exactly typical. He earned a scholarship, went to Cambridge and Harvard, and joined Permira, one of Europe's biggest private equity firms, in 1988. He eventually became its managing partner
and turned Primera into a buyout machine, orchestrating some of the biggest deals in European corporate history. The strategy was classic private equity. Find a company, buy it using a lot of borrowed money, that's the leverage, improve its operations, and then sell it a few years later for a huge profit. The Buffini family's wealth comes directly from this high-stakes game. As a key partner, he received a big share of the carried interest, the 20% cut of profits that private equity firms take. Over his tenure, Primera bought and sold huge household names, generating billions for investors and, of course, for its partners. This is how he became one of the wealthiest black men in Britain. In 2016, he was knighted for his services to charity. But he didn't retire. He took on a role as the head of the government's £1.57 billion Culture Recovery Fund, helping arts organizations survive the pandemic, and now serves as deputy chair of the BBC board. The Buffini dynasty is proof of the incredible wealth-building power of elite financial services. It's a fortune built not on inventing a product, but on mastering the art of the deal.
Number 4. The Lewis family, the real estate private equity powerhouse. At number 4, we enter the world of serious institutional money with the Lewis family, led by the quiet giant of London's real estate scene, Rick Lewis. As the founder of Tristan Capital Partners, Lewis has built one of the largest black-owned businesses in the UK, a private equity firm managing a portfolio of assets worth billions. An American-British dual national, Rick Lewis made his name in London. He first co-founded the European arm of a major U.S. property investment firm. But in 2009, he struck out on his own, creating Tristan Capital Partners, headquartered right here in London. And Tristan Capital is no small fry. It's a major force in the European property market, with over 115 staff and a massive 11 to 14 billion euros in assets under management. The firm creates real estate investment strategies for some of the world's biggest investors. They don't just buy and sell buildings. They find undervalued properties, improve them, and then sell them for a major profit. The Lewis family's wealth is built on this classic private equity model, just applied to brick and mortar. They raise huge funds, buy property, make it better, and sell it for a profit. Crucially, Tristan Capital is majority-owned by its principals, meaning Lewis and his partners keep a huge share of the profits. This structure ensures the wealth flows directly back to the family, building a powerful financial dynasty. Beyond business, Rick Lewis is a major philanthropist. He founded the Black Heart Foundation, a charity dedicated to providing educational opportunities to underprivileged youth. Though he's not a household name, in the elite circles of global finance, Rick Lewis is a titan, commanding a multi-billion-pound property empire from his London base. Number 3. The Ibrahim family, the telecoms pioneer turned governance guru. Our number 3 spot goes to a family whose name is legendary in both African business and global philanthropy. At its head is Dr. Mo Ibrahim, a Sudanese-British billionaire who changed Africa with mobile phones and is now trying to change it again with good governance. His family's wealth, with a net worth estimated by Forbes at $1.3 billion, came from one of the smartest business deals in African history. Mo Ibrahim's story starts in Sudan, but his career was made in Britain. A brilliant engineer, he worked for British Telecom on the very first cell networks. In 1998, he founded Celtel with a revolutionary idea: to build a mobile network across Africa when most investors thought the continent was too risky. Ibrahim believed in the power of connectivity. Celtel was a massive success, bringing mobile phones to millions for the first time and changing societies and economies across more than a dozen countries. The Ibrahim family's wealth strategy was pure entrepreneurship. See a huge need, build a world-class company to fill it, and hold on to your ownership stake. The moment that made the Ibrahim family billionaires
came in 2005. Mo Ibrahim sold Celtel for a colossal $3.4 billion. Forbes reported that he personally pocketed $1.4 billion from the sale, instantly making him one of the wealthiest black people in the world. But what they did next is what truly defines their legacy. Instead of just managing their fortune, they pivoted to philanthropy. From his London base, Mo Ibrahim established the Mo Ibrahim Foundation to promote better leadership in Africa. Its most famous initiative is the Mo Ibrahim Prize, which awards $5 million to an African head of state who has shown exceptional leadership and left office democratically. The family's wealth is now managed through Satya Capital, a London private equity firm that invests in African businesses. The Ibrahim dynasty is unique, created by one visionary deal and now deployed from London to shape the future of a continent. Number 2. The Masiyiwa family, the Pan-African tech and telecoms visionary. Entering our top 2 is a family led by a man who is a trailblazer in every sense. Strive Masiyiwa, a London-based Zimbabwean billionaire, was the first black billionaire to ever appear on the Sunday Times Richest. His family's fortune, with a net worth that fluctuates but was recently estimated by Forbes to be around $1.2 to $2.7 billion, is built on a pan-African tech and telecom empire he runs from his home in the UK. Masiyiwa's journey was defined by a historic fight. After returning to Zimbabwe in the 80s, he founded Econet Wireless, but had to wage a 5-year legal war against the government just to get a license to operate. His victory helped open up Africa's entire telecom sector to private business.
From there, he built the Econet Group, a sprawling international tech company. A key part of this is Liquid Intelligent Technologies, which owns a massive fiber optic network that forms the backbone of Africa's digital transformation. Masiyiwa's strategy wasn't just to sell phone service, but to own the digital plumbing that everyone else needs. Though his companies operate mainly in Africa, Masiyiwa has lived in London for over 2 decades. This isn't a coincidence, it's central to his global strategy. It gives him access to international money, a stable legal system, and a platform for his role as a global business statesman. He even sits on the board of Netflix. The Masiyiwa family is focused on owning the infrastructure of Africa's future. His latest venture is a partnership with the US tech giant NVIDIA to build Africa's first AI factories, ensuring the continent participates in the AI revolution. He and his wife Tsitsi are also famous philanthropists who have signed the Giving Pledge, promising to give away most of their wealth. The Masiyiwa family represents a new kind of dynasty, using a London base to drive progress across an entire continent. Number 1. The Adenuga family, the Nigerian telecoms and oil colossus. And at number 1, we have a family whose patriarch is known as the Bull, a reclusive but phenomenally successful Nigerian billionaire with deep strategic ties to London, Mike Adenuga. As Nigeria's second richest person, Forbes estimates his family's fortune at a staggering $6.8 billion, making him the wealthiest black person with such significant London connections. Mike Adenuga's story is all about hustle. He drove a taxi to support himself while getting his MBA in New York. He made his first million at 26, not in oil, but by selling lace and distributing soft drinks. His big break came in 1990 when he got a drilling license. A year later, his company, Conoil, struck oil, making him the first Nigerian to do so in commercial quantities. That success gave him the capital for his most ambitious move. In 2003, he launched the telecom company Globacom. Adenuga took on the competition with aggressive pricing, completely shaking up the market. Today, Globacom is a massive mobile network operator, but his vision was always global. A key move was building Glo One, a 6,100-mile-long submarine internet cable connecting Nigeria directly to the United Kingdom, physically linking his African empire to Europe's digital economy. The Adenuga family's wealth is built on 2 of Africa's most profitable sectors, oil and telecoms. He owns Conoil Producing, which operates oil blocks in the Niger Delta, and a majority stake in a publicly traded fuel retailer. This provides both the high-reward gamble of oil exploration and the steady cash flow of a giant telecom network. London is the critical hub for this empire. The Glow 1 cable terminates near the city, making it his gateway to global data. The city's sophisticated financial and legal markets are essential for managing a multi-billion-dollar family fortune. With his children already involved in the business, a clear plan for succession is in place. The Adenuga family shows how to build a global African empire using London not just as a place to live, but as a strategic command center for international expansion and preserving generational wealth. So there you have it, the 10 richest and most influential Black families building their dynasties with deep connections to London. From the branding and media empires of the Coles and Stephen Bartlett, to the private equity masters like Dean Forbes and Sir Damon Buffini, to the continent-building billionaires like the Ahmeds, Morans, Ibrahims, Masiwas, and Adenugas, their stories paint an incredible picture of success. What's the common thread? It's a strategic, often low-key approach to building wealth that flies under the radar of mainstream media. These families aren't just earning money, they are building systems. They use London's unique position as a global financial hub to power ventures across the UK, Europe, and especially Africa. They understand the power of ownership, of long-term infrastructure, and of building legacies that will outlast them. Their success is redefining what it means to be wealthy and Black in Britain. They are shifting the narrative from one focused on athletes and entertainers to one of industrialists, financiers, and tech visionaries. They are the new establishment, and they are building the future, not just for their families, but for entire communities and continents. We hope you found these stories as inspiring as we did. The landscape of wealth is changing, and these are the families leading the charge. What did you think of our list? Is there anyone we missed? Let us know in the comments below. We're always looking for more success stories to share with our community.